But just felt in general is more expensive. So like the hats that you see for like a few $1,000s that like the politicians wear, those are typically always felt. Those are more formal. But yeah, no, you can get really nice straws too. So or even palm leaf and some other materials.
Are they always this rigid?
It depends. So you can have anything. World's your oyster, but straw's usually that rigid. Palm leaf's a little bit more, a little bit looser.
What are the basic features I'm looking for in a hat?
Crown for one.
Wait, so, you have to point.
Okay, yeah. We'll do the anatomy of a hat.
Yeah.
You need your crown, right? So obviously these can be reshapen as well. I mean, flat crown is
flat crown. That's okay. Okay, so we're flat crown.
Yeah, but this is a cattleman's hat, right? This is like pretty classic, like Texas style, same as like this.
What does that mean? Cattleman's?
Yeah,
yeah. Okay,
yeah,
you sort of pinch it. Okay.
Yeah, you can pinch it, and like this is how you hold them, and then like the brim, right? So one of the nice things, so you want the brim to sort of like dip on both sides, and that's like your classic like Texas style.
Okay.
That's where it.
Yeah,
you got it.
You got it. Yeah.
And then. And then the belt as well. So this is like typically a style thing. So for felts, like we'll typically do the same color of belt, but and then especially if you're a man, then usually keep it the same color. But women have a ton more options as well, all fashion. So they'll like change it up and stuff. So like our friend Palomi, like she has like a really nice like belt around like one of her hats that she changed out.
Oh, nice.
Like, it looks like super badass.
Okay, and then what is this slight tilt up on the sides? What do we call that?
I actually don't know. It's just I'm pretty sure
it's this like Australian. It has something.
I'm pretty sure it's like a wind thing for when you're riding, because these are all riding hats, right? So if you're like going like 40 miles an hour on a horse, and something's got to keep it from flying out.
That's fine. It's made of sturdy straw.
Yeah, sturdy straw.
It's got many X's. Well, cool. Okay, so appreciate the hat lecture, because I don't know anything about hats. This is this weird Australian version that I got in Australia. So.
I like it.
Thanks.
I mean, it's basically Australia's basically Texas. It's all the same.
I actually think there's a lot of similarity between Australia and Texas.
Yeah,
and weirdly, population and like so many things about like how many McDonald's we have per capita, very similar to Australia. So if you're looking at a state in Australia, you're like, similar size. I think they're way bigger, but population wise, about the same. So
yeah.
So let's talk about the other thing outside of hats.
The actual thing.
Powerhouse Therapeutics.
Yes, sir. Powerhouse.
Tell me about this. What do you got going on?
Sure. Yeah. So way back when, 10 years ago, when I was still a child in high school, my PhD mentor started working on the immune system, and specifically wanted to understand how certain cells talk to other cells, and how over a long period of time how these cells developed, right? And this. Over time, like we discovered a few interesting proteins that we could press on, right? So increase, decrease, or change like how they present, that kind of thing, that will completely change how certain cells will mature, how they'll differentiate, how cells will see other cells, and that sort of thing, right? So very much like cell-cell communication or cell interactions. And this project kept going on, kept doing great, and actually it was one of the reasons why like he got the promotion and came to San Antonio. I got recruited here. But when I joined was when we decided to actually use these for a therapeutic purpose, right? Because beforehand it was always this exploration of like how cells work, very academic, right? Which has been great, and of course like academic science, like you need that to lead into.
It's the foundation of all these.
Yeah. So we then we thought about it, played with like a ton of different ideas and different permutations in our cell and animal models, and finally landed on this crazy chimeric antigen receptor T cell therapy, or CAR T cell therapy. So CAR T cell therapy at like the very basic level, right? All you're doing is we're taking the patient's immune cells out, right? So that's just they just get hooked up to a little machine and sit in there for a couple hours, actually right next door at BioBridge.
I was going to say BBG does this. Yeah, that's awesome.
So right next door at BioBridge, they do all of this, and then we separate out the T cells. Okay, and then from these T cells, we will engineer them. So, and all that really means is we take a virus that has been loaded with our package and infect the cells with it. After a period of time, that our package can modify the DNA and can change how cells behave and can change the proteins that the cell is expressing. From there, obviously, do a ton of QC, right? Make sure the cells are safe, sterile, make sure they actually work, make sure they're doing the thing we think they're going to do. And then that gets infused back into the patient. And then hopefully these cells will hit the cancer. And and this technology has been around for probably like 15, 20 years at this point. So it's pretty mature as a pharmaceutical. But what we're bringing in now, right, and the sort of issue that we saw was these cells work great for blood cancers. So that's your leukemias, right? Like especially B-cell leukemia, they are amazing. They target these B cells, they kill them, and patient's fine, right? And it's been going great in the clinic. This is FDA approved, actually. And so obviously the next step is, why don't we try it in solid tumors? A lot of people tried it in solid tumors. Didn't work. Never worked out. Saw a little bit of signal here and there, but really nothing ever worked out. Nothing FDA approved at this point for really bad solid tumors. So then that's when we dove into this immune cell and cell communication problem, right? Because what we found in a lot of these patients and a lot of the failed CAR T was that the cells were not killing enough, right? Because solid tumors are a lot tougher than your blood cancers to kill, right? It's this very dense mass of tissue versus a few cells floating around in your blood. So it's very hard to penetrate that. It's a very hostile environment within these tumors. The cancers are very good at evading the immune system, right? Very good at fending off all of this and staying alive. That's what makes them a cancer, right? It's one of the hallmarks of cancer.
Yeah.
And so we, after looking at all these issues, right, we decided that we would use our proteins and deploy them into our CAR T. So the base of the technology and the platform that we invented in an academic lab is threefold. Okay, so the number one, we can target the tumors. So that actually isn't super hard right now. A lot of groups are able to do it, and we just get to stand on their shoulders and repurpose some of their technology in order to target the tumors. So that's I guess, it's not easy, but that was the easiest part. Number two, we bring in the rest of the immune system, right? So you can think of the immune system like T cells plus like 100 other cell types, right? And traditional CAR T, right, you're really only relying on T cells. But why only T cells, right? That's you're going to war and you only want infantry, right? Air Force, Navy, everybody else.
Yeah.
So we just bring in everybody else. One of our proteins that we express on these T cells activates the rest of the immune system. That's what we call chemoattraction, where the immune system is attracted to this protein, and then it basically just brings everybody to the fight. Drives a ton of other immune cells into the tumor, and then they start doing their thing. They start killing. They start bringing in more immune cells, and this cascade kind of continues. And then the third part, and maybe, I guess in my opinion, probably maybe the most important part, is we build what's called immune memory. So everybody knows when you go to the clinic, right, if you're a cancer patient goes to the clinic, they get hit with some drug, some chemotherapy or something, right? Tumor shrinks a little bit, everybody's happy, right? And then the treatment continues, and then at a certain point, tumor stops shrinking. And then maybe you switch to another drug, tumor keeps shrinking a little bit, but it's still there. And then at some point, once you've exhausted all your options, tumor starts to come back. And then at that point, patient's out of options, and if surgery can't get it, if organ transplantation can't get it, then they really have nothing else they can do, which sucks, right? And this is really the case for the worst of the worst cancers, especially liver cancer, pancreatic cancer, and some of the other solid tumors that that plague Texas and San Antonio, right? And what we're able to do is we teach the patient's immune system what the tumor looks like, and then it remembers that. So after we zap our tumors, right, after we give our initial dose of the cells, tumors get zapped and they start shrinking. Great, right? But now the immune system remembers what these tumors look like, knows to fight it off. So down the line, right, maybe in a few months, maybe even a few years, right? We hope for a few years, but we'll see when it comes to clinical trials. Right. A few months, few years, the tumor cells might come back, right? Like cancer, unfortunately, like almost always comes back in some form. It comes back a little bit, it gets zapped by the patient's immune system. We don't need to do anything.
That's the hope. Yeah. So you said hopefully a clinical trial show this. So where are you guys at in your development?
So we have done a lot of like the very academic, like early stage science, and that's actually when we spun out the company from the university. And so right now we're in this phase called IND enabling. So that is putting together the data package to the FDA so we can convince them that this is worth doing a trial on. So we have to show that it's safe and that it works in animals. And right now, the animal model that is used for our class of drug is just mice. So a standard mouse cancer model, try it in the mice, show the data that it works and that it's safe. And then hopefully we can move that onto human patients after doing some manufacturing.
Wow. Okay, so to tie this to another passion of yours, so Nucleate, right? So this idea of these student-led startups, and then we also had a recent conversation about keeping talent within San Antonio. Where are you going? Like, are you going to stick around and see this through here in San Antonio, or are you going to stay within Texas? What are your plans?
Texas for sure, 100% Texas. I think I owe it to the community that I grew up in, right, and the people I grew up around, as well as the cancer that we target. So we're hitting liver cancer, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. But, liver cancer in Texas is almost twice the rate of liver cancer compared to the rest of the U.S.
Why? Do they have any ideas why?
It seems like it's some combination of higher rates of diabetes, obesity, as well as and then you can obviously link that to lifestyle or food, alcohol, and then probably a few genetic factors here and there as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know it sucks, man. And then you really can't. And San Antonio, like Mays Cancer Center, as well as MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston, like sees a ton of liver cancer patients, right? And the treatment options are super limited. So first-line therapy right now is a immune checkpoint therapy plus a anti-angiogenesis agent. And in the most optimistic trial, it's about 25%, but in reality, we're close to 10-15% response rate. And out of those, really only about 4 to 5% have a complete response, meaning like cure, right, like full tumor regression. Everybody else is stable disease, or it just sort of slows down the cancer, but you don't really get rid of it completely. And so I think we're building something that will benefit Texans the most. Yeah. So why not keep it in-house?
Okay, so you said going back to your community, is that Houston? Is this where you're heading?
I'll be here and in Dallas.
Okay, Dallas.
So
okay.
Dallas has some great infrastructure we like to take advantage of. Yeah. But my manufacturing is here, so we work with BioBridge a ton to do some of the process development, and hopefully as well they'll be our partners for the clinical trial. Well,
okay, so kind of pulling back from your personal experience with this, what have you seen? I guess I just want to talk about this ecosystem because I love what you guys are doing at Nucleate.
Thank you.
And you guys explore this ecosystem and help support it. So just a little bit talking about what you've experienced in San Antonio and just in Texas in general, and where you see the future, where we're going.
Ooh, yeah, that's a big
That was a
question.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, we can break it into smaller pieces if you want to.
yeah, well, we can talk. Yeah, San Antonio. San Antonio. I think we have all the pieces, man. Like we have Mace Cancer Center is amazing at what they do. We have the military side of things. Bringing military to the USA. We have Velocity here, like doing great work with startups. We have UTSA / UT Health. I guess like we're one institution now that is pumping out a ton of trainees, like a ton of amazing talent, a lot of good intellectual property as well. So I think all the pieces are there. I think for me, San Antonio is an ecosystem. We need to start bringing people together more and like more intentional collaborations. Yeah. More manufacturers talking to cancer centers, more military talking to academia, and more of these everybody like the team build building a team around.
Yeah, I mean we always talk about like concerted, explicit collisions, right? Like trying to force those, and then I think from that you get some pretty impressive, amazing things.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm interested. You're going to Dallas. The manufacturing's still here, but you're going up to Dallas. What are you getting up there that we don't have here?
So I like some of the infrastructure and some of the labs up at Pegasus Park. I think they have a great facility to develop drugs at that. Maybe that a lot of maybe some equipment, maybe this and that San Antonio might not fully have leaned into quite yet. So. I think the lab space here and a lot of the engineering is amazing for medtech. I think we're pretty world class when it comes to medtech and medical device, but I think for biopharma and really like deep like biotech and drugs, I think Houston and Dallas are currently winning in that area.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. I mean, those are just things we can improve on, you know. Yeah. Okay. Well, so one of the questions we like to ask, we just started, so it's not like we've been doing it for a long time, but we do like to ask, okay, so you're San Antonio, where is the best margarita?
Oh, man, where's the best margarita? That's a tough question, man.
For some people.
Honestly, I would say my house.
Okay.
I think I'll give I think that'll be like I think I'll give the weird answer. Like,
okay, well then you're gonna have to go through why. Like what is it that you do at your house?
I think it's I don't know. It's just good ingredients, man. Fresh.
What's
citrus.
The recipe? We got to know the recipe. You have to disclose the recipe. You got to disclose a recipe, or because this comes out because we've got a website. We're tracking all this, and now we're gonna put Vincent's house on the map.
Vincent's house on the map,
and then it's gonna move up to Dallas at some point. No, like, do you have? Are you like so we've talked about skinny as an approach. Do you do blended on the rocks? Just like all the things.
On the rocks, always.
Yeah,
I love on the rocks. Yeah. I have a blender, so we do blended sometimes. But on the rocks, just your standard margarita recipe. So nothing special, but fresh and good citrus. Everything like fresh on the grocery store. So on the weekends, if me and my buddies want good margarita, and I'll run to HEB every Friday and grab all the ingredients. So fresh everything, a good Blanco tequila. I have a few favorites. But
you don't want to name them.
Nah.
Okay.
Can't take sides on brands.
I mean, you can do whatever you
Unless
want.
Some tequila wants to sponsor.
Sponsored by. Lalo. Okay, and then there's a key ingredient that we're about to get to. Where there's some disputes. I'm interested where you're about to go.
What
you got your lime, your
tequila,
tequila,
orange liqueur.
Yeah.
I'm a triple sec guy.
Okay. Is there a brand?
Ooh. Is there a brand?
There's so many out there.
There's so many.
And then there's the Tommy's Margarita approach where you just use simple instead of a triple sec.
You need a triple sec.
Okay.
I like, because I'm big on, I think margaritas should be very citrus. So the more orange notes in there, I think the better.
Yeah.
I think just straight simple is too sweet.
Okay.
I bias to the sour side.
Okay. Okay. What's your ratio? Are you measuring here? Are you doing volume, weight, just eyeballing?
Eyeballing for the most part.
Oh my gosh. See, this is a problem. Like science people, all technical, and then it's just like, whatever. I'm just throwing it all together.
No, but it is reproducible though. So back in college, I used to bartend parties all the time.
Okay.
And then so now I do I don't know, the Vincent hands, like it just they know what they're doing.
The Vincent hands, which are DJ hands too,
Yes,
right?
which are also DJ hands.
There you go.
Sometimes.
Love it.
But the Vincent hands know what to do, even if I've had too many margaritas, I can still make a good margarita.
Okay. This is a pretty good answer. Okay, real quick though, you gotta go buy a margarita. Where are you going? Or someone's in town and you want to guide them to the best spot. You would say,
I've been a fan of Moon's Daughter recently.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, hot take. Okay. I haven't had their margarita, so
You should go.
Yeah.
I mean, all their drinks are good. I think they have a good selection, but the big thing is the view.
yeah, I was gonna say it's like a venue. It's a venue to go to, so
Yeah.
that makes some sense. Okay.